You're listening to the Exponential Entrepreneur Podcast. This is the podcast for ambitious entrepreneurs who understand that exponential business growth isn't achieved through traditional business tactics alone, but through personal development, the ultimate leverage point to scale businesses beyond conventional limits. Hosted by Erica Ferenczi, featuring lessons from the Practical, Profitable Mindset program, created by R. John Robbins, Alejandra Leibovich, Erica, and Oscar Ferenczi. And here's your host, Erica Ferenczi.
Welcome back to the Exponential Entrepreneur Podcast, where one shift in the way you think can unlock your next level. Now, today's lesson, assumptions limit you. The saying goes, when you assume, you make an ass out of you and me. In this episode, the teachings are game changers. You will hear from Oscar Ferenczi, who is the co-creator and one of the 4 facilitators of the Practical, Profitable Mindset program. He is also a serial CEO. He has dedicated his life to scale companies, run mergers and acquisitions, and help enterprises experience explosive growth. With a background in finance and a specialty in leadership, this will absolutely be a treat for you. You will hear Oscar talk about things like, number 1, assumptions are impractical and very unprofitable. If you're telling yourself you can't raise your prices, you can't sell, nobody will buy from you, you're not good on public speaking or whatever, you're operating from assumptions, not facts, not reality, and it's costing you dearly. Number 2, he will invite you to trade the need to be right for openness to learn and grow. The ego's need to be right will always keep a person stuck. Do you know that there are people who have the need to be right so ingrained and so stuck that their subconscious mind will make them take actions that will make them fail only so they can prove their point about why the company was not going to be successful, or nobody will want to buy from me, or that price is too high, or whatever. It's crazy town, I know, but that's how it is. It happens to all of us at some point. Oscar will challenge you to start questioning your own certainty. Those things that they're so certain that that's how they are, to question those things, to ask better questions, and to spot options where you could not see them before. He has a saying that I love. Winners bench their ego in order to win the game. He's going to invite you to do that. And 3, he will ask you to speak to your 10 or 5 best clients and ask them how is that you could actually expand the value. Stop guessing what clients need after the paperwork's done or the product is sold. Call 5 or 10 of them this week and ask them to speak to you for 5 or 10 minutes. Ask them what happened the moment, the day, the month after the product was sold, the paperwork was finished, the case was finished, and where could your company have served more or different to provide more value. Not only will you create loyalty, but you will discover new services and you will be opening new referral streams. In this episode, he will invite you to move from busy to effective. Less activity, more follow-through, and more results. More abundance and less lack, because that is exactly where momentum lives. Let's watch Oscar on this episode.
The challenge I'm going to put in front of you is how impractical it is to make assumptions. So assumptions are impractical and unprofitable, both impractical and unprofitable. So a lot of you came to me and said, well, I can't raise my prices. And some of you came and said, you know what? I can't stand on stage. I'm not good at selling from stage. And some of you outright said, I'm not good at selling. Others do that for me. And yet some said, I'm not growing as fast as somebody else. All assumptions that come from a place that makes you impractical. It comes from a place where your need to be right about your assumptions is keeping you from making more money. So you have to start challenging yourself and this need to be right. Because the need to be right is what's keeping you stuck and not allowing you to grow enough. So let's switch it around. For all of those who said, I can't raise my prices, I'm not good from stage, I can't sell myself, I can't grow faster. Well, what if you could? What if you challenge that thought that you have, that limiting belief, or that assumption that you're not capable of doing these kind of things? And fill in the blank for 100 other things that you're all feeling or thinking that I'm not sharing with you today. I'm just sharing I can't raise my prices, I can't stand on stage, I can't sell, I can't grow fast enough. Fill in the blank with whatever it is you feel you're doing or not doing. And flip it around and say, what if I could? Challenge yourself to think different, not on the grounds of your weakness, but on the grounds of your strength. How do you derive the strength to start doing the things you assume you cannot do? Okay? And so what if your need to be right does not allow you to be challenged? You're going to get stuck and you're going to be living a life of limits. And this is about releasing all these limits. So I put it in an example. An example I like to use for this is the following. You guys all know that my son, one of our sons, plays soccer and pretty competitive. So many times I ask him, would you rather play for a team that wins, regardless of how you played or didn't play that game? Or would you rather play for a team that loses, but you always are the star? And his answer is always, I rather play for the team that wins. And if I got to get benched, I'm going to get benched. So I am completely opposite. I rather look good than play for a winning team. And that is a limiting belief to me because I need to be right. And so my belief is I'm sticking it. I'm going to play as hard as I can, regardless of what happens in the game. And that is an assumption that I use, that I am actually the best one in the game. And thus, it doesn't really matter whether we win or lose. It's how I play. My need to be right is getting in the way of me being more competitive, me being better, or me showing a better face in front of the world, or being a part of a team that could do so much better if I was to really address how I make a team better or worse by trying to outplay everybody or trying to hog the ball. So when you're trying to be right, you're always going to limit yourself. So why am I saying all of this? Again, impractical to make assumptions. It's unprofitable to want to be right. And when you look at many of us, we have a need to be right, and that need to be right is extremely strong. So I would like you to start challenging your assumptions, okay? And not by asking those around you or those close to you how to do so. Because most of the time, the people that are around you are in the same exact place as you are. So they're the wrong person to ask on how you can challenge your assumptions. When I was working in corporate, there was always some leader, self-proclaimed leader, who would say, I'm here to find out what you guys think. And then we would all share our opinion, only to the guy turn around and say, all right, nice to have heard you. You're all wrong. This is what we're going to do. And so he or she would never allow the opinion of the group to be right. He had to be right. And thus, some of the results that we generated were always flawed or always limited by the fact that assumptions were not being challenged. And so, if you were to challenge yourself, how could you begin to challenge yourself and the things you're doing? And how can you begin to redesign the way you go about doing your business or living your life for that matter? So, you guys, over the weekend, some of you came to me and talked about, how can I sell more? How can I don't know how to offer my clients more things. I just divorce them. I do their estate. I, defend them in court. I do whatever I do, and then it's all over. How else could I help them? And you don't really question that long enough or stay with that thought long enough to come up with a decision or a solution for what else you can do. And here's where I think you can begin to challenge yourself. You have been doing what you do for years. So when you're done divorcing somebody, for example, well, you've been through how many divorces? Thousands, hundreds. I've been through one. Your client has been through one. What else am I unaware of as this person who's sitting in front of you, and you know exactly what I'm going to start living as of tomorrow? So we have to talk about, 401ks, and we got to talk about bank accounts, and we got to talk about the real estate, and we got to talk about what's going to happen with the kids, and how I'm going to start dating again, and what's going to be around the corner that I am completely unaware of. Yet for you, this is something that is very, very obvious. You know what I'm going to face the day after I do something with you, because you've done it so many times. It's second nature to you. Yet you don't take the time to tell me as your customer or ask me what I need after the formal documents and all the formal process is done. I'm going to need a real estate person. I'm going to need to know how to invest my money, how to work around, the money that I just got or didn't get. And my life continues to move forward, and I just don't know how it's going to move forward unless you offer that to me. And so, as a tangible way for you guys to begin seeing this differently, I would invite you all to reach out to your best customers. Pick your 10 best customers, just 10, and start reaching out to those 10 people. Doesn't have to be today. It cannot be 10 weeks from now. It has to be in the next couple of days. And spread them apart. Call 2 today. Invite one to lunch. You have to have lunch anyway. So if the person lives nearby, invite them to lunch. And ask them how you could have been more for them in that time of need. Ask them what happened the day after you finished signing documents, shook hands, exchanged money for the transaction, and walked away from each other. Ask them what else you could have done in your area of expertise to be a resource to this person. At the very, very least, it's going to get you a more loyal customer. And on the upside, it'll allow you to build on ideas of what other businesses you can start going into, or referral sources or services that you're not thinking about today. How can I look at my customer base and make that customer base generate more money for me? What do they need that I haven't tapped into because of my need to be right? My need to be right is I just divorce you. I sign the papers. I do a better job than anybody else. And then we walk away. And so what else can you offer? How else can you provide value and extend that relationship between a customer and a provider, in this case, you, so that instead of just hitting them once for the divorce documents or the business documents or whatever it is you do for them, into a relationship that will pay out even more dividends only because you're aware of the ways you can add value to that relationship. So stop thinking, or assuming rather, that you cannot help, and start thinking in terms of how can I continue to help this person? How can I become an integral part to the solution this person needs and doesn't even know they need? Because that is your area of brilliance. That is where you can bring value to somebody. And only you can, because you're the expert at what just happened. You know intimate details about what this person just went through and what they're going to face the day after tomorrow. So get out of your comfort zone, get out of doing the things that you think you do well, and start looking at areas where you can do even better. And I believe if you start thinking that way and not assuming you cannot do more for somebody, your business will begin to flourish and do more. And it doesn't mean you have to do more legal services. It might mean that you end up, buying a management company because they're going to have to manage their homes, and they're going to have to sell and buy and rent and do all kinds of things. That, X number of months after a divorce and a certain age, women go through plastic surgery and men want to buy a car. I'm not saying get into plastic surgery or into a car dealership, but if these are imminent things that will happen, how can you get into that relationship where you can start referring people, where you can start providing more value, and that person is usually somebody who knows somebody else going through the same situation. So that becomes a referral source for you. So again, how do you stop making assumptions on what your value is and how you can change somebody's life? And how do you become practical and way more aware of how you can continue to add value to the equation? So stop being right, or stop getting thrills on how to be right, and prove to be wrong by finding out what else you can do for somebody, and by finding out from that person how you could have been better. And the minute you get clues on how you could have been better, you start changing what you offer. You start changing the way you interact with your clients. You start opening up to a whole slew of things you can begin to do that you're not thinking about right now, because you just assumed that what this person wanted was just to get divorced, or just to be defended, or just to be whatever it is they came to you to do. So I'll open it up for questions, and we'll keep developing on the concept.
So my question is, one of the things that came up was how much I am approaching things from a place of lack. Like, I don't have enough time, I don't have enough money, I don't have this, I don't have that. And I didn't really realize how much I was doing it. I understand that it starts with awareness of just the fact that you're looking at it that way. How do I use the law of polarity to my advantage? How do I quickly recognize when I'm doing that and flip it on its end? Because what I'm finding is approaching it from that standpoint is keeping me from being creative in the way I solve the problems.
Mm-hmm. So you got to take care of your mindset first, which is lack. Why are you in lack mindset? I know why. You know why. How do you get out of it? See, stop doing new things for all of you. Stop doing new things until you master the things that you've already recognized are problems for you. That was another, concern some of you had this weekend. I don't want to sign up because I have so many things that I haven't done that I don't think it's worth it. My answer to you is, you take what you need, you tackle it, you conquer it, and you move on to the next. Because at the end of the year, you'll be able to say, I've conquered 20 things, whereas last year you didn't conquer a single one because you didn't know what the fuck to go after. You're supposed to figure out what it is that you can tackle, and tackle one at a time. And you don't move on to the next until you're done with the first. Stop thinking how you go to the next step when you still haven't figured out the first step.
Okay.
Because the minute you stop thinking in lack, your whole world will be different. And everything you apply from that minute on will come from a completely different place. And if you don't believe me, ask somebody who has already made peace with a lack mindset and is now thinking in terms of abundance. I know it because I've seen it. Erica and Arjan made a huge transformation. I told you, they are enlightened. In my eyes, I am married to an enlightened person, somebody who went from one way of thinking about things to a completely different way of thinking about things. And everything she does today is way different than she did 10 years ago or 5 years ago. So stop wasting time trying to build on a foundation that is not solid. So long as you're coming from lack, your foundation is not solid. So conquer that first. And by the way, what this program gives you is a way to get out of that. Whether you implement the 365 pieces of advice that we give you or not, you're in an environment that is going to be conducive to you thinking differently. behaving differently, living differently. Master that, and you will become a much bigger, better person. Certainly way more profitable. Because now you look at life differently. See, many of you are saying, I'm not inviting 10 people to lunch. Fuck that. It's going to cost me $1,000. And my question to you is $1,000 in Google spend better spent than 10 lunches at $100 each? And I know the answer. The answer is my 10 customers for $1,000 is a way better investment than $1,000 on social media. Because you're going to get tangible, concrete examples of how you can become better and how you can attract better people and how you can get more referrals and how you can turn your business to become more profitable for you. Does it make sense what I'm saying?
Yes, absolutely. Thank
Good.
you.
All of those who think that you weren't getting everything that we've shared with you into an implementation mode, you're never going to do it. Nobody is even capable of doing that. Erica had been working on mindset for 20 years. Arjan's been working on mindset for another 20. How many of you have been working on mindset for 20 years? Notice my hand is not going up. So stop thinking you're going to get everything done this year or next year. What you have just bought is a formula to become a better person for the rest of your life. Pick and choose the actions you want to take and the areas you want to tackle when you are ready to tackle them. But while you're immersed in this thing, you will make changes because you have no other option. You're starting to make inroads, whether they are a lot or a little. You're making progress, every single one of you. You are not the same person you were 6 months ago. You will not be the same person you are today in 30 days. Never mind what you're going to be in the next 18 months. Wherever you are, you will be in a better place. That I guarantee. And that will make you better. That's growth.
So welcome back. Let's log in today's breakthroughs from Assumptions Limit You with Oscar. Point number 1, challenge your assumptions all the time. Assumptions are impractical and very unprofitable. Try to catch yourself when making assumptions and replace the I can't or it won't with what if it is? What if it actually happens? So you can act from strength. Point number 2, ditch the need to be right. Your ego will always block your growth. Always choose learning and feedback and being coachable over being right, because there is no better way to be right than by achieving amazing results. Challenge your own certainty. Ask better questions. Look at the facts, and you will begin to spot options you couldn't see before. Winners bench their ego to win the game. Point 3, talk to your 5 or 10 clients. Within the next couple of days, call at least 5 of your past clients and ask them, what happened after the service was done, the product was sold? Where did you or your company could have added more value? What could you have done better or more of or less of? Is there something they need where you can still add value right now? Then that information will help you improve your offers, will bring more referrals, and it will definitely increase your follow through. We want to invite you, as Oscar did, to continue to operate from abundance, simplify and follow through. Success is not about more activity. It's about better outcomes. And that is exactly what the Exponential Entrepreneur Podcast is for. And now it is your turn to take action. Here is to your exponential growth. Stay healthy, stay hungry, and stay focused. And we will see you next time.
Thank you for listening to the Exponential Entrepreneur Podcast. We encourage you to take action on it today. Share what you've learned with another entrepreneur Sign up for our newsletter to get bonus content you won't get anywhere else at exponentialentrepreneur.com and subscribe to the Exponential Entrepreneur Podcast to receive the next episode. Until next time, keep breaking through limiting beliefs and growing exponentially.